Greetings, wonderful beings of Gaia and this great divine cosmos. My name is Darren Austin Hall, and I am grateful to be here with you today. And let's just tune in with a beautiful vibration of crystal and gold here from this beautiful just let those shimmering vibrations bring you a bit of a sonic smudging, cleansing you and letting those crystalline vibrations bring you into a state of focus and relaxation. Take a mighty breath into your belly and just allow yourself to come into your blessed body in fullness, in awareness. So we take a moment here just to center ourselves, maybe even closing our eyes. Breathing nice and deep into the belly. Letting out some sighs to release any tension we may have been gathering in our life, in our day. And release. Do that one more time. Breathing in. And release. Good. So, welcome today on the blessed full moon in Aquarius. We're about to enter into that portal. The portal really starts tomorrow, but we are already very much in the radiance, and I'm sure many of you are feeling it. And it is wonderful always to be in the fullness of Grandmother Moon. She provides a lot of revealing during the times of her fullness, because the full moon, or the light of the moon, has been regarded to be symbolic of more of our unconscious. So that's why the full moon can typically be a very intense time, because the light is truly illuminating more of our shadow realms, more of what we've been hiding away. And if we're conscious and we're present and we're willing to actually see and go there to where Grandmother Moon is trying to guide us, we can actually see this as a benevolent thing. She's actually just trying to get more of our consciousness in the full spectrum of awareness online, so that we don't have this kind of divided part of us where our shadow is kind of fractured from our light, where we can truly find the dance between them. Because the shadow is not something to hate, it's not something to feel disdain towards. It's just the parts of ourselves that are unconscious that we want to bring into the light of our radiance so they can be activated and perhaps embodied somewhat in our life. What I like to call the wound to wisdom road. This is the alchemy that we're all invited into, and Grandmother Moon is churning that with enthusiasm today. Today is also considered a blue moon, because it's when we have basically two full moons of the same sign. So it's quite remarkable. The last full moon was also Aquarius, and this one is also Aquarius, and very different. The last one was quite intense. This one has a lot of peace and grace to it. It's conjunct with Jupiter, so Jupiter is in the Aquarian field, and of course Jupiter is kind of the kingly, queenly planet that brings expansion and joy to everything. And I definitely started to feel that yesterday when I tuned into my morning meditation. I could feel those waves of joy coming in. And I like to think of astrology as kind of ancient sound healing, because it really is just measuring how all of these orbital frequencies of all these planets, which are really moving through the plasma of space-time, the ethers, and they're making sound as they move, this grand symphony of sound. And every full and new moon lunar constellation of all the elements is like a song, and we're invited to analyze, understand that song, and to respond to it rather than react. If we can understand what's going on, we may be able to take better advantage of the astrology. I remember seeing a quote recently that millionaires don't believe in astrology, but billionaires do, which I found really fascinating. Astrology has been truly a great source of inspiration and wisdom in my life for primarily helping me understand human consciousness through the mythological perspective, meaning all the symbolic realms that all of the 12 signs bring, all the 12 houses. It churns our multidimensionality, and we are multidimensional beings. And in the banality of modern living in this materialist, atheistic world, it's very disenchanted. So these are very popular elements. There's such a burgeoning of astrology and wellness and spirituality, and I think primarily because the old meaning of the world just isn't satisfying anymore. So people are starting to re-enchant the world, as many of us are likened to say. So just a little more about the astrology manners out there. Shout out to all the Aquarians out there. I dearly, dearly love Aquarians. I am a Gemini, fellow air sign. Salute. And Aquarians and Geminis actually have an amazing compatibility, which is probably why I have had a long run of Aquarian beloveds in my life. I always find I'm drawn to Aquarian women, mostly because air signs tend to be airy and they need a lot of space to figure that airiness out. It's like they're always in kind of this like mystical transmission from the beyond. And as a Gemini, my space is very sacred to me. And a few of my last Aquarian partners, they really got that because they needed their space too. So shout out to all the Aquarians out there, and shout out to the fact that we're all kind of Aquarians right now because we're tiptoeing into the Aquarian age right now. If you haven't noticed, the last couple thousand years have been an age of a lot of darkness, a lot of horrific stuff that happened in our history. We have a huge, dense pain body of generational trauma that as we walk through the amazing splendorous gateway of this Aquarian age, all these prophecies that have talked about this shift of ages that is happening right now, we are invited to start to bring online this kind of new consciousness. So Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, and the planet Uranus has often been likened to kind of the revolutionary, the rebel. It brings these kind of like electric insights to us. Uranus is very much dancing with Taurus as well in a huge earth-changing age. I think it's about the next 7 or 10 years. And it really is about just uprooting all of the soil to make it healthy for the new growth that is coming. And I'm sure this is all hitting very close to home as we look about our world, especially in the last year and a half, with the pandemia and everything that has transformed and all of the continued transformations that are happening right now. It's dizzying, to say the least. And it can seem like a hapless situation because it's becoming increasingly clear that the world leaders who were mostly elected before all these changes started taking place, they're really not up to task. I think that's becoming quite clear. And Aquarius is also ruling over that kind of me, we energy. You know, it's the love of humanity, but also the love of the individual being absolutely free to explore and expand their consciousness. And we're seeing that right now, that an outmoded, antiquated form of consciousness is trying to basically remake the world in this kind of technocracy. And technology is another thing that Aquarius is very interested in as the pioneer, the innovator. It brings new technologies in. And as we're seeing in the world right now, there's a lot of incredible technologies just in the last 20 years with the rise of the internet that have totally remade the world. This is all a harbinger of this Aquarian age. But of course, you know, technology is neutral. And it is up to human consciousness itself to utilize it in the right way, in a noble way. And I think what is so frightening to many human beings right now is that I think we're becoming incredibly aware that human consciousness itself is very fractured. As Eckhart Tolle said in The Power of Now, in pretty much one of the first paragraphs in the preface, diagnosing us as collectively insane. And again, I think a lot of us can probably resonate with that diagnosis. But at the same time, a lot of us are resonating with the fact that we've been brought here, we've been put here on this earth, in this holy now, to be a part of the healing, to be a part of the revolution, not of a violent kind, but a loving, spirited, mystical re-enchantment of the world that deserves a ding. And so that is why all over the world you're seeing people crowding into yoga studios, into cacao ceremonies, into ecstatic dances, into wellness activities. Everyone is trying to up-level themselves from the essence, which is the spirit, which is remarkable. And down in Costa Rica, where I do more permanently live, I am back in Canada just to tie up some loose ends, I'm seeing a remarkable migration of brilliant souls from all over the world who really want to architect this kind of new earth in this new Aquarian age. And we really feel that Costa Rica may be that prototype and sending out rays of connectivity all throughout the world. The beauty of Costa Rica in itself with Gaia's glory is enough to captivate so many people to move down there. And we need this because we need to heal our consciousness, and this will happen everywhere and anywhere, because if we're going to continue harnessing the powers of these technologies, we have to really realize we have tremendous power at our fingertips right now, with nuclear power, now with quantum computing and AI. There is some things that we could utilize in a very, very wrong way, which is why I think there's a lot of heightened anxiety right now. But if we can get to healing our consciousness, getting truly noble, virtuous peoples in places of power, in captains of industry, we might very well be able to architect a true golden age of universal wisdom where science and spirituality can finally bridle together, which may seem a far cry right now from all the rampant censorship and scientism and the betrayal of truths that are happening now with all the misinformation being propagated, not just from the mainstream media, but every single avenue all over the place. We are going through a tremendous revolution right now. And though it might seem quite dire with all the misinformation around us, I believe it's actually a temporary phase of growth, and a good phase of growth, because humanity is returning to gnosis, meaning we are becoming self-aware and self-anointing through truth. It's up to us to really figure this out. People are, decrying, oh, do your own research, that's a dangerous path to using your own mind as you like in the whole quagmire of duplicity that is out there on the dangerous internet. Well, I boldly disagree. I think that truth needs to be something that we can all access ourselves, and then we can all co-create ourselves. We don't just have to listen to the mainstream media or some priest or some scientist or some doctor. We can evaluate for ourselves. We become our own authorities. This is the great way that we usurp their authoritarianism, which, if you haven't noticed, has been accelerating quite fast in our world. And yes, it's a dangerous route. It's not as safe as just having, these very secure, corporatized messages given to us. But it's dangerous, and the rewards are so much greater, because it's teaching people to think for themselves. And that is one of the great spirits of Aquarius. Think for yourself. Your mind is free. Break free from all these ramparts, and let's go to creating this next stage of human evolution and the world, where we reconnect to Gaia and also the cosmos. And that will only take place if the human mind is freed from all this mental slavery, as Bob Marley said. So I'll leave that for the wisdom aspect, and I'm going to go back there behind all my little celestial crystal tools and other sonic instruments, and I'm going to guide you into a bit of vibrational medicine. So this is a time for you, if you aren't already in a kind of meditative posture, or if you want to lie down, if you have some headphones, highly recommend putting them on, and we'll take a little journey. So, wherever you find yourself right now, I invite you to just set your body, mind, soul up for some deep relaxation and a deep dive into your soul. So that might mean finding that Nice meditative seat with the back nice and straight. Or perhaps you're lying down on a mat or on your bed or something cool like a biomat. And we always start with the bridling to our breath, letting the breath be a bridge between our mind and body, bringing them together. We breathe nice and deep into the belly, maybe letting out one more sigh. We let our eyes close and we let our eyes open within. We let our awareness move about our body, searching for any places they may be tight or tense. We encourage those spaces to let go, softening and melting into the nectar of this now. We open our energy bodies to the rays of Grandmother Moon high above, sailing through Aquarius, and we open ourselves to receive her wisdom. And we feel the bubbling spring of light of Mother Earth bubbling into our root chakra, through the bottom of our feet, grounding us and bringing us the wisdom of the great goddess Gaia as well. We feel a connection with the beauty and sacredness of this holy world. And I invoke the white lions of Timbavati to encircle us all, keeping us sacred and protected, and you can imagine and invoke one in your space if you like. And with all of that constellated, allow me to sing an invocation to the divinity of this universe to embrace us. Taking a moment here just to collect yourself and breathe once again deep into your belly. And we close today just further activating ourselves with the full moon. So imagining Grandmother Moon high above, wherever she is right now, wherever she's sailing through the skies, sending out rays of your infinite magical heart to come into sacred resonance with her. And feel the blessings of her wisdom being transmitted right into your holy center, filling you with her splendorous wisdom. Being open to receive whatever upgrades or wisdom she wishes to bestow on you in the next few days in this Aquarian alignment. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Darren Austin Hall, and I am honored to be of service to you in wisdom and sacred vibration. Please follow me wherever you can if you want to stay in touch with what I have to share, with my gifts, with my medicine. You can find me on IG at Darren Druid. And if you haven't heard it yet, go over to Spotify and take a listen to my new double album, Honor All Creation. It's filled with lots of odes and codes and awakenings to the great goddess that is Earth. It's really 22 songs to really repair our relationship with her and to heal the fragments of our human consciousness. So wherever you are, sending you infinite love. Be glorious. I'll see you next time.